How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be doing a video about the Netherlands called Everyday Dutch Things That Impress Me About the Netherlands as an American. This is by oomdoze. Sounds really familiar. Now I just noticed that I am subscribed, so that's why she looks familiar, but let's check it out.
So I've been in the Netherlands for about a month now, and there are so many things that I encounter every single day that seriously amaze me about being here, and so I wanted to share them with you guys.
She seriously is the cutest.
So one of the things that attracted me to this country is that I kept hearing about how beautiful it is, but I don't think that I was truly prepared for how beautiful it really is. Like, I didn't think that I would be walking past this every day. And when I was moving here, I was also warned about how bleak and cloudy and just generally gray it is. As you can see right now, that's pretty typical, I've realized.
It doesn't look too bad, but again, it looks like fall time. That's, you always hear that about that. It's just rainy and drizzly and gray.
But honestly, I came from Chicago, so if you know anything about Chicago, you'll know that it's about 8 to 9 months out of the year it's this type of weather, but even colder. And it's just not as pretty to walk around. But yeah,
I can agree. So she lived in Chicago, which is only 2 hours away from me in a different state. And I can definitely agree with her. It's like that around here a lot. It's like we don't have summers, it feels like, and it's gotten so much colder in the wintertime. It doesn't make any sense at all. But yeah, so I would choose that weather over my weather any day of the week.
here, my days will always be brightened knowing that these are the streets that I get to walk down and that I'm surrounded by so much beauty and culture and history here. And I say this all the time, but it literally feels like I am living in a Hallmark movie, or if you've ever seen Gilmore Girls, it feels like I'm in Stars Hollow. And obviously, I'm also super impressed by how easy it is to get around here without a car. From bike paths to walking paths to even hot air balloons, which, if someone could explain that, why are there so many hot air balloons here? It's super cool, but I'm just wondering.
I'm wondering why I've really never heard about that until now. Is that a form of transportation that you guys do? That would be pretty cool.
And yeah, it's so nice to be able to walk for miles and miles without the sidewalk ending on you, which is not something that you can do in the US.
Oh my
Another
gosh.
thing that's incredibly impressive is just how much freedom the kids have here. So I literally see them everywhere, biking, playing. I'm sure you can hear them playing right now at the park that I'm at. But they're doing all of this pretty much by themselves. And I see them in the middle of the day walking around in groups to the grocery store to get lunch or just hanging out with each other. And in the US, this would literally be unheard of because it just isn't safe for them to do that type of stuff alone. And the first week that I was here, I realized just how safe it is for kids to be in this area just hanging out by themselves. So I was walking down a really busy street and I noticed this younger girl just like standing outside of the store by herself. And so me coming from the US, I'm just like, oh no, this girl, she needs help. So I go up to her and I ask, do you need assistance? And her mom is across the street at another store, and she spots me and she runs out and basically tells me to get away, which, you know, fair enough, because here it's completely normal for these kids to just be out by themselves. But for me,
And that's how it starts. Somebody sees a little kid out there by themselves. They call the cops come, you get your kids taken away. She's coming from a place, Chicago, where you don't leave your kids alone. Like, that's just a big no-no.
me coming from the US, I was not used to seeing that. So I thought she was lost. And as an American, this can be really incomprehensible that kids can be this safe. And it's really sad that my brain has a hard time computing this sometimes. It's like here I realize that I'm witnessing kids just able to be kids for the first time. It's how I think the US used to be in the 90s, and I hope that that continues.
I'm a 90s kid too. Well, an 80s, but close enough. I grew up in the 90s, and it seemed a lot safer. Although I do remember a couple times, like one time I thought I was being followed home. That's a whole story. And I'm not sure how safe it actually really was back then, but anymore you cannot do that, and it kind of makes you wonder why. Like, that big of a difference between what people? It's crazy. It's hard for me to wrap my head around it too, only because I've seen some crazy things, but there it is safe. I'm gonna go to the Netherlands one day, and they're gonna be like, "You need to let Anthony go." I'm gonna be so protective.
Used to be how it is in the Netherlands. And another thing that really impresses me about living here is just seeing the older population and how fit and agile they are. Like, I don't think that I've been to any other country in the world where the older people are as athletic or fit looking as they are here. And it's really funny because I'll be riding with my bicycle and I'll be wobbling and not, you know, super athletic on it, but meanwhile they'll ride past and they'll be carrying an umbrella, a bag full of groceries, and then also somehow walking their dog. And another thing that I notice is that you guys actually have third spaces here. And if you don't know what a third space is, it's just a space you can go to outside of work or home. If you don't know what a third space is, it's just a space that you can go to outside of work or home that you can find a community of people that have the same interests as you. But here, I learned about these spaces. I'm not really sure what they're called, but there's one in Utrecht, which I know that I'm not pronouncing Utrecht correctly. Oh, that's cute. Hi!
I want to see.
But here, I learned about these spaces. I'm not really sure what they're even called, but I know there's one in Utrecht called ACU, which I know I'm also probably not pronouncing Utrecht correctly, so please correct me. But yeah, it's called ACU, and if you're an American, you can think of this place kind of like a boys and girls club, but for adults. And this is so impressive to me because in the US, I feel like once you get older, social activities aren't really, there's not a lot of emphasis or importance placed on them. It's kind of just like outside of work or the home. you're kind of on your own if you want to hang out with people. And these community spaces like ACU just provide a really cool place where you can meet up with people without feeling like you even have to drink or that you have to be super athletic. You could just kind of be. And they have a lot of cool events. Like one event that I saw was like drag makeup, which is right up my alley. So yeah, I really appreciate that while being here. And this kind of piggyback.
So to me, that kind of sounds like how it is for AA meetings and NA meetings here. You meet up with people, a safe place where you don't feel like you have to drink, and you make friends. I guess that would be what a little boys club, the Boys and Girls Club is. That's pretty cool.
On the last thing, but in the US, it can kind of feel like your life really revolves around work without much time outside of that, if any. But here, it seems like the priority is on the general enjoyment of life. And I find it so impressive that literally any time of the day, like at 10 a.m. on a Monday, I can see people walking around the city center just enjoying themselves, having a coffee on the patio, talking to people, having lunch with other people. And in the US, the only time that you see people doing this on a weekday is if they have 30 minutes for lunch that they can take really quickly out of the office. But here, it really seems that people slow down and take little moments out of their day to just appreciate life.
Yeah. That's not something that I see very much of.
But just by being here, I notice myself just taking more time to breathe and to be and to really enjoy the space around me. It seems so simple, but it's something that I didn't do in the US, and it's really made my quality of life a lot better. Anyways, these were just a few things that have impressed me so far by being here in the Netherlands. I'm sure the more that I'm here, the more things that I'll uncover. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. Do you think that there's anything that I haven't seen that would impress me, or anything that you all have been impressed with yourselves? And yeah, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Hold on, let me take my time.
That was good. Yeah, my fiance is obsessed with the Netherlands, so I do know if we visit anywhere, that's gonna be a place that we're gonna visit. So I am excited about that. But guys, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and I really appreciate it very much. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.